Hey everybody out there on the interwebs. This is Ski with F&P, and today, I know it's a Saturday, it's a nice beautiful day outside, and I'm going to go attend to that later on. I got some stuff going on, and then got this tournament I'm going to tomorrow. But today, I figured I would do something a little special, go over some reviews and unboxing of this nice awesome box called the Forbidden Power Box for Age of Sigmar. This is probably, it's been on the community site, it's been all over the place, but I figured, you know what, why not get in here and open this up and show you everything that's in there. If you want to buy it or not, we'll go through it, look at the sprues. So let's do this, start it up. So the box, of course it's a box, yay, yeah, right. The art on the front's great. I love the picture. Female Stormcast is great. Of course, you've got Stormcast and Undead on the cover as well. And then, of course, you got the back. I know there's a glare. There we go, because the box is nice and shiny. So you got the piece of terrain and all the stuff that comes into it. So let's open this up. Look at this. Look at this. Let's stick this right here. All right, so in our contents, what they have given us, they have given us all the bases in a nice plastic baggie. This is kind of new. Usually it's they're flopping around in here all by themselves, and they're throughout the box. So that is quite nice. Then we have the sprues. So let's go through this. Actually, not too bad. So here's that piece of terrain. Looks like it's 2 sprues. And here it was broken down to 2 separate sprues. Oh, it looks like they cut it or broke or whatnot. But that's the one sprue. One big sprue is the piece of terrain. Then you've got in the spells. Really nice. You got 2 of the sprues right there. So this one on the left is 1 in the spell. This one on the right looks like to be 2 in the spells. Break this, I like breaking it. It's nice and easier that way. And then this piece it's 2 pieces, but it is 1 in the spell. It's the bridge. What else we got in here? We've got this Age of Sigmar. It's the cover art. But on the back side, I really enjoy the back side. It is Stormcast and Nagash. Well, on Death, I would say Death, maybe. So I like the half and half. I think that's really, really nifty. I know I have a glare again, because these are so nice and shiny. You get a nice glare with the light. All right, put that like this. And then I'll get the rest of this box. All right, so here are the cards of all the endless spells, and the piece of terrain is in there too. Open that in a second. And then you've got the book with all the tokens. So we'll open this up. Let's get this going. You'll be very careful. Open a lot of these Games Workshop. They don't give you a lot of room with their plastic sealing to get your fingers in there or whatnot to open up all the plastic without like hurting a corner or who knows what, right? Let's see here. How's it going, man? Thanks for joining me today. I know it's an off day. I'm glad that you're going to join me with some Age of Sigmar fun. Yeah, the campaign, I'm going to actually, I talked to a couple friends of mine. Once I can afford that piece of terrain, or all those terrain pieces from the Forbidden, the Stormbolt and stuff, we're going to run the campaign. And what Games Workshop's been doing lately with this week with all the crazy lore with the Deepkin and the undead and the perspective of the civilians, basically, and how they see the world, and it's amazing. I'm so glad that they're starting to like dive into the lore even more. Okay, so not surprised. Almost every major campaign or box set or something, you get core rules. I don't think I'm gonna have to dive through this, but I doubt any of this has changed or any updates are in here from the erratas or stuff. But I'll take it. I'll look into it more in depth later. Good book to have. Like I have one in my backpack for when I go to tournaments and stuff, because it just gives you a quick overview if you forget a simple little rule or whatnot. Good reference guide. Then you have the Soul Wars Forbidden Powers. So this is the building instructions. Looks real simple, like all their stuff. They're doing this for such a long time that they have done a great job making instructions even better to understand. I'm not saying you can't figure them out, but some of them, for instance, the 40K Orc Stompa instructions are horrible. And I always tell people, like, you take your time, and it's like a puzzle sometimes. But they've done such a great job publishing these. All right, then we have the book. The Forbidden Power book, and this is an actual really thick book. It's almost the size of the other in the spell book. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. Let's just dive in, because I know a lot of people are I can't say skeptical or iffy about buying this, or if it's worth buying or whatnot. So let's just go through it. Treasures Untold. Let's see, deities. So they cover some of the deities in Age of Sigmar, probably from the book. You know, you got Sigmar, you got Teclis, you've got Grunny, the Great Maker, and Nagash, of course. You got Night Haunt, you got the Overlords, you got Deepkin, Fire Slayers, Flesh Eater Court, Free Guild, Devoted of Sigmar, Stormcast Eternals, Anvils of the Heldenhammer, which if you didn't read the last fluff part of what they were doing on the Games Workshop site, the community site, Deepkin were fighting undead, and they were getting overran and slaughtered. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, lightning came down and Stormcast showed up, and it's a crazy story. I don't want to ruin it all, but it's amazing. But this is I'm going to hit on something that I just find really interesting now, because we're always talking about the old armies, the old, I don't say legacy, but you got like the free people, and you've got the Free Guild, and you know all that. Well, they mentioned two of them in the book. You know, you do have the Devote of Sigmar, you do have the War Priests, you do have, you know, the Blackshore Guard from the Free Guild, and so they do keep touching on it, which is amazing. So that is hope for them to update their stuff. So let's go here, and they talk about the Necroquake. They talk, and I'll just do some showing as I'm going. I know it's probably upside down or backwards, who knows what, but you know, you got Necroquake. You've got Cascades of Magic, Secrets Uncovered, Relics of the Ashen. Some really good art as well. The Age of Sigmar has just been doing such a great job with everything. So they talk about the hidden vaults, treasures, crawling pits. Like there's a lot of interesting things. I'm gonna have to read through this. It's gonna be great. Hoping people sell it separately from the box. I'm excited for Gen 19 from the 1K adjustment. Oh yeah, I'm hands down, man. I cannot. I'm really excited because I can run things. Like, okay, personally, I'm busy going to school, the fall, taking a bunch of classes, and I'd like to run events, but I don't like spending all day. You know, from 10 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night running tournaments at 2K. You know, it's fun and I love them, but 1,000-point games, narrative games, I think it's gonna be great. So I hope they do a good job with that. The Realm of Endings. Saish is the realm of endings and of silent decline. It is not continuous domain, but instead a myriad of underworlds. All So, ooh, this is going to be interesting. So this is going to go in depth of that realm. Ooh, they even got you a nice little map. See, they're doing great. They're doing really great. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got here? Raven City, Ancient Hatred, The Growing Dread. Another chapter in here. They're showing some Deepkin and some Fire Slayers, and pretty interesting so far. Siege of Sorrow. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Oh, that's amazing looking art. The Celestin Prime and the Matriarch of Grief meet in battle. The mighty Galmazal. Okay, so look at this. This is amazing. This artwork, I know, again, a little shiny. There we go. So you got the Prime over here wielding the great massive hammer, and then you've got the undead woman. I'm very bad with pronouncing names and stuff, but I think it's just amazing. Artwork is amazing. Let's see what else we got going on here. The Shattered Tomb. That's a nice little star. Ooh, okay. I'm going to go into that. Like I said, I don't want to ruin this. I think this is a great book for people to get so far just by browsing through it. Then they go into the hidden vaults and they show you the endless spells. So it's good to look, you know. Like they said, like everybody can use these just because they're the undead look like and have that feel. Don't be disencouraged. Don't feel like you can't use them. Like if you're playing orcs or you're playing fire slayers or you're playing, I mean, I probably wouldn't play Deepkin with these because of, you know, story wise, I don't think it makes so much sense some aspects, but don't feel that you can't use them. Like everybody can use these. This is great. Some of the freaking massive battles in here. You got some Stormcast versus some Skaven. You've got Sylvaneth versus some Death. They do put a painting your miniatures in here, so they do show you how to do a lot of the painting. I always love these, especially the White Dwarfs, like the paint splatters. Hands down helps because a lot of people don't have a vision, and if they have a vision, they don't know how to execute that vision. And so these painting guides, they're so simple, and some people are like, oh, why did they repeat themselves? But on some aspects, and other aspects, like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. So these are very great to help you with ideas and help you execute some ideas, and then you can tweak them. You know, like the gold. I'm just going to go over this because, you know, people that are watching, you know, gold. You base coat it with Retributor Gold. Next, you apply an even blend of Earthshade and Layman Medium, and then finally carefully dry brush with Stormhold Silver, which is fine. But then you can tweak that. So it just gives you an idea on how you want it, how they do it, and how you might want to do it. They go into glow effects. That's nice too. Basings, stonework, painting the endless spells. So if you want to paint them like the box or close to the box, they kind of show you that too. Defenders of, was it Lethis? Oh, I love the black Stormcast in this because, you know, it's all about the realm that they're in. That's what they look. Their house. Oh man. So let's see here. The Court of Sorrow. War for the Stormbolts. So this realm of battle, region of war. So to give you, you know, you're going to be fighting and playing out the campaign version for this. There's allegiance abilities with the armies. So if you want to recreate this and make your own type of army to defend against this campaign, right? Let's see here. You change the keyword, but you have to have certain keywords, army-wise, faction-wise, I should say. So like right now it says like, oh, you have to have Stormcast Eternals, you have to have Deepkin, you have to have the Overlords, Fire Slayers, War Priests, but you can't have, let's see, in addition, it cannot include any units with the following keywords. So Hammers of Sigmar, Vostar. Okay, so they're very specific on what you can take, but you can take your own army and have your own allegiance abilities. Guardians of the Raven City, Warriors of the Grand. Oh my god, this is amazing. Add 1 to the move characteristics of the Deepkin that you take. In addition, add 1 to the charge rolls for some of the Deepkin. Like, and I don't want to ruin it. Like I said, I want you to go out there and get this and look through this. But now this makes me wonder. And they have its own spells. Yep. So you take your alliance, we'll say your good guy force, and it has your own allegiance abilities, has your own artifacts of power, has your prayers in here, has command traits, battle traits, and your restrictions on how you construct this. And then if you want to play the Legion of Grief, which is the undead death style, they do the exact same thing. They tell you what you can take and what keywords you can have in your force. They give you battle traits, command traits, artifact of power, spells of lores. Now here's a cool thing that I've been waiting to see this. There's mercenaries in this book. Mercenaries. To include mercenaries in your army, you must first pick a mercenary company to be hired by your army. A maximum of 1 mercenary company can be hired by any army. If a mercenary company is hired by your army, one out of every 4 units you include in your army can either be an ally or mercenary unit from that company. All mercenary units gain a mercenary keyword. Mercenary units are treated as part of your army, except that they are not included when working out your army's allegiance, and can only therefore be part of a different grand alliance or faction from the rest of your army. In addition, a mercenary unit cannot be the army's general, cannot use or benefit from your army's allegiance abilities, and cannot be a named character. Let's see, reinforcements. If a mercenary unit uses an ability or skill that adds a unit to your army, that unit that is added to your army gains the mercenary keyword. They do not count against the limit on the number of mercenary units you can include in your army. War Scroll Battalion cannot include any mercenary units unless all the units in the battalion are from the same mercenary company. Pitch battles. In a pitch battle, the points you have available to spend on allied units, see the core book, can be spent on mercenary units, although any points spent on mercenary units are deducted from the total you have available to spend on allied units, and vice versa. Mercenary units are not included when working out the number of battle line units in your army, but they do count towards the maximum number of leader, behemoth, and artillery units that can be included in your army. Mercenary special rules. If you include any mercenary units in your army, the following rule applies during the battle. Disruptive presence. If your army includes any mercenary units at the start of your hero phase, in the first battle round, you do not receive 1 command point. So there's a good trade-off. Okay. Let's see here. Gryphrid Lodge Mercenaries. So you have... So there's a couple companies, a couple mercenary little things in here. Let's see, if you pick this mercenary company to be hired by your army, you can include Fire Slayer units in your army as mercenary units with the following exceptions. Heroic Runefallers cannot be included as mercenary units. Fulfill one's oath. Add 1 to the hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by Fire Slayer mercenary units that target enemy units that made a charge move in the same turn. However, from the start of the 3rd battle round, subtract 1 from the bravery characteristics of friendly Fire Slayer mercenary units while they are not wholly within 18 inches of general. So what this looks like to me is, okay, cool, I'm going to hire some freaking Fire Slayers. I'm like, all right, I got my dwarves in my army, running with Iron Jaws. Awesome. Well, they have to stay next to your general, or they start losing bravery. That makes sense. Let's see. What's this other one? Hey, stop. Let's see here. Sorry about that. Hey, stop that. I love you. You're good. Let's see. Ooh, if you pick the... Okay, so this company, there's a Flesh Eater Quartz for your mercenaries. Interesting. And then the campaign. Okay, so what it's looking like, the mercenaries, you can use either way, pitch battle or not. And then you've got the Stormbolt campaign. Wow. There's artifacts in here for the campaign. Let's see here. This looks amazing. And the artifacts in here are, it reminds me of an online game, you know, where you have like experience and your artifacts get levels from level 1 to 5 for the campaign. I'm going to stress that enough. There's a couple battle plans in here. More than a couple. Then they have endless spells, of course. They talk about the endless spells, pitch battle, profiles. So we're going to go through. Let's see here. And then it has the campaign roster. So, okay. So then you have tokens. So the campaign roster's on the hardback, on the back side of the book, which is cool. It gives you the profiles for pitch battles, and then the campaign roster, you get your general's name, Army Allegiance, General's War Scroll, Awakened Artifact Bearer, the level of the artifacts, and then the 6th Conquer Stormbolts that you can get, and it kind of keeps track of that. And then the tokens, let's see here, all have, you know, again, nice tokens for the campaign, for your artifacts. It even shows you the 6 artifacts here, on that, the yellow. That looks like the piece of the terrain. Yeah, objective markers, I believe, are the black ones. This is really cool. Really cool. Let's open up the endless spell cards real quick. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Try to be careful. I know it's Memorial Weekend, so it's gonna be interesting. You know, I am a vet, Army medical retired vet. A lot of us are in the channel are veterans. Retired as a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. I'm lucky to be around, so you know I did get injured in Afghanistan, and you know I'm lucky to be here today. But I want to shout out to all the families out there that have lost significant others, or during the wars. You know, even myself, I have my great grandfather that passed away, World War II veteran, 20 years Navy, CB, great, amazing individual. And you know, this weekend I'm gonna remember him this weekend, and everybody in all the wars and all the families. And so you know, enjoy your weekend. Just remember, you know, Memorial Weekend. So be safe out there. Don't do anything. Think before you do, in my opinion. So let's continue on. So they have the nice cards out here. Let's see here. Oh yeah. So they have 1, 2, 3. There's the piece of terrain. Oh, they even included the terrain rules. So I knew it was going to do it, but I wanted to see how they're going to, you know, if they're going to do it with all of it. Every piece of the new terrain, they have included the cards in that box set. Yes, you have to buy the terrain separately. Yes, it's expensive. But you now have the rules for every piece of it in these cards. And so these data cards that they're doing is great. You know, people always ask me, oh, what are you going to do when they update it? And there's new ones. I was like, all they're going to do is update maybe a rule or two, and you can either write on these if you want to. It's up to you. You know, make your little notes, change wordage, or they're just good to have. You know, I play Iron Jaws. We haven't got an update yet. What's going on, Tyler? Good morning, man. I use the cards as a quick reference to weapon profiles is what I usually, the rules, I have my iPad, so I use everything digitally for the most part. I always carry a hard copy of my rule book, the endless spell book. I'll have this book, but I use the iPad for everything else because they update the iPad with all the FAQs and RAWs on the profiles. But I'll use the data cards just to go, okay, I have this many wounds. Unless the wounds change like Fire Slayers, I'll etch it on there. I don't even care. But it's like, cool. Oh, yeah, his weapons, 3 to hit, 3 to wound, -1, 1 damage. Like, that's what I use it for. His movement, stat line, you know. Other than that, the abilities are usually not, they don't change drastically most of the time. So, but let's go over some cards and some point values. Because I have it, so you know which ones are which. Okay, so the Horrorghast. The Horrorghast is the cool-looking Nagash floating spell. Really cool. This is going to be a 60-point spell. You've got the Riverman, I call him, Riverboat. He's a soul seeker, right? Really amazing. I can't wait to build this and paint this. I think it's gonna be amazing. I might do some conversion work on there and add some. I got like 2 or 3 boxes of the GW skulls, so I might do some conversion and add more skulls to the skulls that are already on this thing. But we'll see. Might even hide some 40k skulls like a Kroot or something there and see what people catch it. But 60, another 60 point in the spell. Then you've got the shards. These look really cool. I like this. I like how they are broken. And then you have this like death-looking mist energy type, whatever you want to call it, coming out of them. And it creates like a face in the middle of it. And I think it's really, really ingenious. I think it's really cool. 40 points. That is what this is. Then you've got the Soul Scream Bridge. Another really cool thing. I mean, it reminds me of 2 rib cages. Like, it's really cool. But again, I can't wait to paint these because you have the spine and the ribs and the cool looking smoke, right? This bridge is 80 points. Now this is surprising. I mean, I wouldn't say it was surprising. Let me tell you about it. This is interesting because okay, so all these factions that we're getting have pieces of terrain that you get for free. You know, you get Deepkin, Fire Slayers, everybody. Well, they added this the engine in here as a piece of terrain, and you know, of course, it's for the Stormbolt for the fluff aspect of all of it. But to take this in your army, it's 100 points. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember seeing any other pieces of scenery. We'll say scenery, cost anything. Even so, yeah, 100 points to take this, which is really cool. I like what it does. I like how the mechanics work on this. But yeah, 100 points to take a piece of scenery. So I'm gonna go over this because that's intriguing. All right, so the engine. We're gonna go scenery rules. Repercussions of the Necroquake. At the start of the first battle, okay, disclaimer, a lot of this is on the community site, so I'm just kind of repeating myself, and it's okay, but I wanted to do it. So, at the start of the first battle round, after determining who has the first turn, roll a dice and consult the table on the right to determine which function all penumbral terrain features on the battlefield gain for the duration of the battle. So if I have one and you have one, or we're playing a 4-person game and all 4 of us have one, this applies to all of them. Every at the start of the first battle round, after determining who goes first. Okay, so here's the functions. You got 1 through 3. Basically, what it's going to do is let you re-roll save rolls of 1 for attacks that target units wholly within 12 inches of any piece, any terrain feature, any of these terrain features. So you have to be wholly within 12 inches to re-roll save rolls of 1. Or re-roll save rolls of 1 for attacks that target units wholly within. Okay, that's 1 through 3. 4 through 6. At the start of your hero phase, you receive 1 extra command point if any friendly heroes are within 12 inches of this. Of any. 12 inches of any of these. So that's nifty. An extra command point. Start of hero phase. So you're like, oh, I'm going to keep my Weird Knob Shaman next to this. And of course, I'm going to bubble wrap it with 30 freaking boys. So, he is a hero. So not only do I get a +2 to my casting because I'm Iron Jaws, I got, a bunch of orcs around me. And I'm going to get a +1 to my command points because I'm wholly within 12 inches of this. And then the last thing. So that's 4 through 6. So 1 through 3, wholly within, reroll 1s on your save. 4 through 6, hero within, not wholly, just within, gives you an extra command point. Then the last thing, at the start of each battle round after the first round, a dice roll. Roll a dice. On a 1 through 4, nothing happens. On a 5 or 6, the function that currently applies to all of these pieces of terrain features is replaced with other functions. See repercussion of Necroquake. So basically, is you re-roll and you see what happens at the start of each battle round after the first. So interesting. For 100 points, you can possibly get an extra command point every turn, or you can, reroll one of your saves. So it's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got here. And so so these are the other pieces of scenery. What to say? So you got the box of the Time-Worn Ruins. So this is its own box that you can buy. There is rules for them. Really intriguing. The Time-Worn Ruin is a single terrain feature that consists of 10 Time-Worn Ruin models. These models must be set up as a single group with all models within 1 inch of at least one other model from the group. Each Time-Worn Ruin model is an obstacle. So kind of how you see it has to be how it's set up. Let's see if I have a better video. There we go. So they all have to be with it's almost like its own little unit. It's its first scenery unit. It's great. Scenery rules. The deadly scenery rule. See right. For the scenery table in the corner, rules must be used for this. Okay, so let's see here. Deadly roll. Roll a dice for each unit that finishes a normal move or charge move within 1 inch of a deadly terrain feature. On a 1, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So this stuff is deadly. This could be an amazing thing. And okay, so a lot of these are used for the campaign. A lot of people, not everyone, so I want to state that I know of a lot of people that do not use terrain rules for normal terrain. So you get like the mysterious terrain rules or whatever not. But this piece of terrain, if you choose to use it as what it is, it has the deadly on it. And so it's a really good like barbed wire / I don't know, like landmine, in my opinion, like landmines or whatever, if you want to look at real time where it's like, oh, you're within 1 inch of this, take D3 more wounds. If you roll 1. So cool looking terrain though. Looks like a statue, or basically a big statue that probably crumbled down and all over the place. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. That's the big piece. That's the smaller piece. Let's do the arena. I like the arena, the dais. Let's see, get a better picture. There we go. Maybe I'll come with this one. This is probably one of my favorite. It's really cool. So let's see here. It's a single piece. Scenery rules. Bastion of Order. Ordered units. So it's not like Deepkin or anything like that. It's order. Order units treat this terrain feature as having that inspiring scenery rule from the scenery table and the core rules. Chaos, destruction, and death units treat this terrain feature as having the sinister scenery rule. So what those are, inspiring adds 1 to the bravery characteristics of units while they are within 1 inch of any inspiring terrain feature. And the sinister is you subtract 1. So good guys get 1, bad guys get -1. Interesting. Okay. Cool piece of it. Man, I'm going to have some fun. Once I get all this stuff, it's going to be fun painting it and getting it on there on the table. Then we've got, let's do the one without the throne. The temple. Let's see if I get a better, there we go. No glare. Really cool. Another cool piece of scenery. Fickle Guardian Spirit is the role. The deadly and arcane scenery rules. So that's what you're gonna. Ooh, okay. So it has deadly. Again, roll dice where each unit finishes a normal move or charge move within 1 inch of any deadly terrain features. On a 1, that unit suffers D3 wounds. Okay, interesting. But it has arcane. Add 1 to the casting or unbinding rolls for wizards while they are within 1 inch of any arcane terrain features. So not only do you have a chance to hurt yourself, but you are going to get a +1 of casting. So imagine sticking my weird knob in between this and the other scenery piece, right? So not only will I, and because I think they have to be so far away from each other, I'll have to, but it'd be cool bouncing back and forth. But oh, I got this. Oh, I got this. So, but this would give my wizard a +3 casting if I had 20 boys around him as well. So Foot of Gork on a 7 instead of an 8. Love it. Love it. I might have to. The risk might be well worth the reward. So let's go with the vault. Well, the throne, I guess, let's just say it. So this has, okay, so it has the order or the inspiring and the sinister. So +1 bravery to order, -1 bravery to everybody else. As well, it has at the start, it's consecrated ground is what it's called, sorry. At the start of the battle round, roll a dice for each endless spell within 6 inches of this terrain feature. On a 1 through 5, nothing happens. On a 6, that endless spell is immediately dispelled. In addition, each time a unit wholly within this terrain feature is affected by a spell or endless spell, you can roll a dice. If you do so on a 6 up, ignore the effects of that spell or endless spell on that unit. Oh, that's an amazing piece of, if you don't have casters to dispel, good piece of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get, handed dusted by Nagash. And you're like, oh, I'm over here and I'm by this. And you roll 6 up and he's like, oh, it doesn't happen. Nagash is like, what the heck's going on? All right. And the last piece. This is the big piece. There we go. Really cool piece. I love it. Love it. So let's see what we have here. We have Rune Locked Vault. I'm going to read the flavor text. I think it's kind of cool. The complex mechanical lock that seals this temple's vault is warded with ancient magic. Only those deemed worthy can unlock its secrets. I love it. So let's see here. In your hero phase, one friendly hero within 1 inch of this terrain feature can attempt to unlock the vault. If they do so, roll a dice. On a 1, the hero suffers D3 more wounds. On a 2 to 5, nothing happens. And on the 6, the vault is unlocked. And then epic music plays when you unlock it, and it feels like you're triumphant, maybe even some Final Fantasy VII, victory music goes off. It'd be great. When the vault is unlocked, roll D3 and consult the table on the right to determine which treasure is found. Apply the result to the hero that unlocked the vault. Once an enduring vault has been unlocked, no further attempts can be made to unlock it during the battle. So before we go over this could be a really good piece for people. If you guys are running some narrative events, this piece of scenery terrain and the rules on it will amplify your missions. This could be a secondary, a tertiary, a narrative objective. Like this is really cool. This is going to help tailor a lot of cool things for people to use. Imagination and get people out there to play. So let's go over the treasures then. So you roll the D3, and then on a 1, Eldritch Weapon. Pick one of this hero's melee weapons, add 1 to the damage characteristic of the weapon for the rest of the battle. So for instance, my Orc Mega Boss on foot, his main weapon is a 2 damage weapon, so he would come up to 3. So it would be 6 attacks, negative hit on 3s, wound on 3s, -1 rend, 3 damage per attack, or per, that's devastating. And most people roll 1s. I mean, yes, the average, but 1s is usually I see a lot of people roll 1s on everything. So let's go to 2. Arcane Scroll. For the rest of the battle, this hero can attempt to cast an arcane bolt spell in your hero phase as if they were a wizard. If the bearer is already a wizard, they can attempt to cast 1 extra spell in your hero phase. Okay, epic. That is a lot of fun. Running around with the Orc Mega Boss, he's like, yeah! And he's like, I'm going to cast Arcane Bolt. So that's magic missile into the darkness, That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I like that. And on a 3, Malign Sorcery. Immediately set up an endless spell wholly within 12 inches of this hero as if they had cast it. So that is amazing. That is really cool. Immediately set up an endless spell wholly within 12 inches of this hero as if they had cast it. Any endless spell? See, now this is where the interpretation comes in, and I really hate this, and I don't want it. So I'm not going to say I'm assumed. This can mean a couple things. Any endless spell that you brought, or is it going to be the endless spells that you paid for with your army? That's going to be the deciding factor, because it doesn't say. It just says immediately set up an endless spell wholly within 12 inches of the hero, as if they had cast it. So this is going to cause a lot of misinterpretation unless they FAQ it. You know, a lot of people out there like to add to their own rules, and they go, well, they didn't say I can't do it, so I'm assuming I can. I'm like, no, if you can't, if it doesn't say you can do it, doesn't mean you can't. Like that's the other way around. Don't try to bend rules to benefit you. You know, find the correct ruling and go with it. Don't add to it. But no, that's amazing. That should be a lot of fun. I can just see getting to the. I might have to end up getting two of these, and just orcify this out to no end with Bone Splitter bits, Iron Jaw bits, Gloomspite gets bits, Troll bits, freaking bits of destruction all over this thing. And then, you know, maybe I might actually do this for my display board. I don't know. I might do something cool like this. But there we go. Like I said, I know most of the stuff is printed on the community site, which is fine. But I wanted to go over it because I had the opportunity to get these to do a nice little live video. So yeah, that is the Forbidden Power box. Well worth it. I have a sneaky feeling this is not the end. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to come out with more stuff right away when it comes to this, because this still has to do with the Soul Wars. But the theme is interesting. So we might start seeing more themed spells, and I think it's going to be great. You know, imagine some Realm of Iron spells, or some you know, Realm of Beast, Realm of Light, you know, Realm of Life and Light. Sorry. I think they have an opportunity that if they keep doing something like this, it's going to be amazing. Especially how much is in this book that I didn't even realize. Like, they did a great job, and I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read the story. I highly recommend it. If you guys are into the story and the lore and stuff, this is going to sound funny, but either way, if you want the spells, or you don't want the tokens and you just want the data cards of spells, and you know someone that just wants the lore and the rules, then split it with them. You know, I personally don't use a lot in the spells because I'm an Iron Jaw player. You know, my Weird Knob Shaman, and his Foot of Gork is, to my opinion, when it goes off, is more deadly than most endless spells. But this weekend, tomorrow, matter of fact, just real quick, I'm going to Austin to play in a 1,000-point narrative tournament being held in the Realm of Beast. So I have made my Iron Jaws story background and thematic as in for the Realm of Beast. And I'm using my first endless spells besides cogs. Okay, I do use cogs once in a while because that's like a go-to for orcs now because we're so handicapped. We don't have enough power in our little scooters to get us across the table lately, so I have to use something to help them. But I'm not taking that. I'm taking the Gnashing Jaws for the Realm of Beast, because since we're going to be in the Realm of Beast, that thing's going to be moving, was it 12 plus D6 movement in the Realm of Beast? It's going to be amazing. No piggies, no dragons, all footmen. It's going to be a lot of fun. But this could be an answer to some of my movement issues with my orcs. You know, if I'm like, all right, I've got this 30 blob of boys and I need them. Well, I usually use 30 boys to wrap my Weird Knob just so I can have that plus the casting. So I can say, okay, I need my brutes across the table. You know, I can use an endless spell from my shaman to get my brutes 9 inches away from you, you know, first turn, and hopefully get a charge, because I'll have a +1 to charge being Iron Jaws. So hopefully that's an 8-inch charge. Not counting any other shenanigans I might be able to do. You know, so a lot of possibilities. I love terrain features. I love scenery. I've been working on it a lot lately for Warzone. I got a lot more to do. And then the one project that I'm going to share with you real quick that I did get my hands on because my lovely wife let me, because she loves it, is this will be my project after Warzone. I do have one. And they're going out on the store, on the web store. So if you ever thought about getting this piece of terrain feature, I highly recommend it. The rules in it too, there are actually rules on the app, and I am going to talk to people, and I might start bringing this for my terrain feature. It's amazing. There's so many cool rules with this. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you tuning in on a Saturday. It's a nice day down in Texas here. It's hot and humid like it should be, but I appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to do as many more of these when I can. Um, and yeah. Oh, something else too I wanted to share. I didn't get to share on my live feed. I got invited to Games Workshop Dallas beginners, the expo that they do now. I did the beta, or let's say alpha, on the school projects where they did the school kits and then you teach people how to paint and whatnot. I did that before they released it publicly, um, and it was amazing. So they sent me an invitation to attend the expo in October, and I'm trying to get a +1 to go with me, and we'll attend that and try to get some coverage. And I very thankful for Games Workshop for that. That is amazing. But yeah, other than that, I'm gonna try to do more releases. I gotta figure out, when things come in. When the General's Handbook comes out, depending when it comes out, hopefully I'm not busy with Warzone because it's gonna be close. I will do a open book review like I'm doing with this. If you see something that I'm doing that I could do better for you guys, please let me know. Send us a message on Facebook. Send it in the comments. Constructive criticism is great. Be tactful on how you word it, of course, because we can only read what you type. I can take off all the emotion and stuff the majority of the time, but this is for you guys, and I appreciate it. And you guys, all the patrons that support us and everything. So this is Ski with FMP and Age of Sigmar, and hopefully more to come. Thank you guys so much.